Hey everybody, Jeff Reinhart here, LMP and Lancaster Online. Pull up a chair. It's the Huddle, the Outlaw League football podcast, sponsored by Auto House of Lancaster. Week 8. Wow, we're flying. Week 8. Not an awesome knockdown, drag 'em out week. There's one Titanic game, and that's on Saturday in Section 4, Twin Valley at Wyomissing. Give you a quick tease on that. 7-0 versus 7-0. That'll be great. That's the only kind of mega first place showdown game this week, which is okay. It happens. But week 8 is full of like trap games, must-win games for district playoff, chase points. The first place teams in all the sections got to kind of win here to set up bigger games in week 9 and 10. So again, it's not monstrous and Titanic, but it's interesting, and there's some really good local, fair matchups, old school LL games, and some must-win games for some teams, for sure, if they're thinking postseason. So let's break them all down. 19 games in all. We got a Thursday game, a bunch of Friday nights, and then the one Saturday afternoon game, which is circle it must see for sure. The Thursday game, let's roll. Nuggets and picks. Thursday night in Reading, Columbia at Berks Catholic. Berks Catholic shares the Section 5 lead with Anvil Cleona. So here's one of those games where BC needs a win because they get Anvil in week 10. So they want to get to that game for sure. Their rushing attack's been great. Jeremiah Camara rushed for 240 and 3 touchdowns last week in a win over Kutztown. Columbia's been really good. Oh, what a season for the Tide. What do they have? 3 wins. Okay, 3 wins. But they're in it in the District 3 PowerPoint race in 2A, 3A. They might be 3A. But they're in it. They would be in right now. So a big game for Columbia because the Tide needs wins to make districts. They've given everyone headaches. Cameron McClare's having a really good year up top. And Columbia's been a fabulous story. Tricky trip. Berks Catholic, as mentioned, their rushing attack has been gnarly. It seems like they have a kid go for 100, 150, 200 plus like every week. Saints might have a couple of too many guys for the Tide to have to tackle and worry about. So the pick will be Berks Catholic, but it won't be surprising at all if Columbia hangs and makes the Saints win it late in the fourth quarter. Keep an eye on that. But for pick purposes, to get us started here, let's go Berks Catholic over Columbia. Saints with an eye not too far ahead to week 10 in Anvil Cleona. Okay, Friday night. Section 1, McCaskey at Cedar Crest. Saw Cedar Crest last week. Stinger. First drive, Isaiah Zimmerman. They're really talented tailback kid. 1,500-yard rusher last year, 700-yard rusher this year. Limps off. Didn't see him for a while, and then I kind of looked over, and he was standing there with an ice pack lower body. So he did not return. Manheim Township wins, scores 5 unanswered touchdowns. Boom. So now Cedar Crest is on the fringes, bubble-ish team for districts, 6A. McCaskey, boy, if they were going to get one, it might have been last week with Reading, because Reading was also over, and Reading won on Saturday. Beat the Tornado 14-6. I think penalties were the bugaboo for McCaskey. 100-plus yards and penalties. That's a rough one. Now they got to go to Lebanon and play a Cedar Crest team that might be minus a kid. Keep an eye on the backfield. But Cedar Crest knows it needs wins and a fast finish to make districts. So let's go Crest here. Falcons at home. Cedar Crest over McCaskey. Reading at Manheim Township. Start with the Red Knights. They got a dub. Boy, they needed that. They had lost 9 in a row dating back to last year. Wilkins scored 2 touchdowns last week, and Reading beats McCaskey. I think I read in the story somewhere the game took like 3.5 hours, 4 hours because there were so many penalties. But some mo for Reading, which is a good thing. They got a dub there in the W column. Now they got to go to Manheim Township and take on the Streaks. And I saw them play Crest last week, as mentioned. Jack Kneff has been great behind center. 290 and 3 touchdowns last week. Darius Dixon had 9 catches, 195 and 2 touchdowns. Township's offense has been scorching ever since that loss to Central York. The Streaks have just been on a roll. They have found it. And they go to Wilson, the co-leader, in week 10. So a can't get caught looking ahead game here for the Streaks. But I can't pick against them right now. Wow. Their offense is just nutty hot. Streaks over Reading. Penn Manor at Wilson. All right, I'll start with the stat. I've already written it like 2 or 3 times. Sorry, Millersville. Wilson, all-time in varsity tackle football games against Penn Manor, is 33-0. Not a misprint. Bulldogs playing well. Mason Young kid is having a really good breakout season behind center, completing a really good percentage of his passes. And their defense has been pretty stingy. And again, they're trying not to get caught looking ahead here to Township in week 10. Penn Manor coming off a good win. Non-con, they went over to Kennardale last Thursday night and won, put up 39. Dupree popped a kickoff for a touchdown. Randy Guthrie, who's having a really good year under the radar here, rushed for 150 and 3 touchdowns, and he returned a punt for a touchdown. So some good mojo for the Comets right now, but they have had not much luck here with Wilson, as mentioned, 33-0. So let's go Bulldogs at home. Still looking at that showdown in week 10 against the Streaks. Bulldogs over Comets. Section 2, Friday night. E-Town Bears at CV Bucks. Conestoga Valley. 19 regular season wins in a row. That's pretty good. They are tied in the loss column for first place with Exeter. They're both undefeated in section play. CV quarterback Sawyer Espenshade leads the league in passing yards, 1,400 plus, and TD passes, 21. He's been sleek and efficient and good. Kind of smooth sailing here for the Bucks. Thought they'd have a tricky game with Mifflin last week, and CV scored 51. So they're fine. E-Town also coming off a win. They've kind of been hit or miss, but they're making everybody sweat. Trent Kaufman has really aired it out. Their passing attack has been pretty good up top. He's got a lot of weapons. Prince Rado's having a good season running the ball, and E-Town's over 500, and they're looking at districts. Tough trip to Whitmer. CV's just really good here. And their 2 biggest quote-unquote games are coming up next. Exeter and Muhlenberg. Wow. So let's go Bucks. Bears will make them earn it, I promise. But I'll go CV over E-Town in an old school LL rivalry bash. Ephrata at Muhlenberg. Ephrata dropped a couple in a row here. They kind of hit the meat of their schedule. Gets a Muhlenberg team that played Exeter last week in that undefeated Section 2 showdown game. Exeter won pretty handily, 42-12. So the Mules dropped back a game, but still playing well. And now they have a little motivation here to get back up in the saddle quickly because they get CV in week 10, and Muhlenberg's playing for a seed in district. So I have Muhlenberg circled at home. What is this, like their 6th home game in a row? Mules have been enjoying the home cooking, and Miller's having a great year, and Small's having a great year running the ball. So I'm going to go home squad. I think Ephrata will make them earn it, and the Mounts need wins here for districts. They got to close fast. But I'll go Muhlenberg over Ephrata. Lebanon at Governor Mifflin. Let's get this one out of the way first. Lebanon is looking to avoid its 50th 5-0 loss in a row, going back to 2020. Man, I did not see this coming. I knew they were struggling. I knew it was, okay, 10 in a row, and okay, it's 20. Oh my, it's 30. I didn't see it getting to 50. So we'll see if they can get this off the books and get a dub here somewhere. The state record is 56 losses in a row. The LL record is 52 losses in a row. Hang tough, Cedars. Mifflin lost to CV last week, gave up 50. Their defense, I believe, is at the bottom of the league, which is kind of a stunner. LeBron Leaf did have 3 touchdown keepers last week, so he's playing pretty well. So let's go Mustangs at home. They're fringy for district, so they need a fast finish. So we'll see if they can get a dub here and finish strong. Mifflin over Lebanon. Section 3, interesting game at the top. Cocalico at Solanco. Old school rivals. Every week there's an old school rivalry LL game. Eagles at Golden Mules. Solanco playing great. They took over sole possession of first place last week in Section 3, beat Mannheim Central in Mannheim 42-6. Chris Burgos Wise had a huge game, 70-yard touchdown, 40-yard touchdown. Johnny Garcia had a couple of touchdown runs. Solanco, I think they now lead the LL in rushing yards, not surprising. And they've won 6 in a row since the LS game in week 1. So Solanco's been great, sparkling, doing just fine. I mentioned Johnny Garcia. He needs 173 yards, 173, which is doable for him, for 4,000 in his career. That's a good number. He's been playing since 9th grade. So Johnny Garcia, 173 for 4K. Cocalico got a win last week, beat Ephrata in the Review Cup game, ran the heck out of the ball. Logan Horning, 100-plus touchdown. Connor Horning, 100-plus touchdown. James Anderson, remember this kid's name, please. I think he's going to be Cocalico's next wing-back slot kid burner player who can just run for days. He rushed for 140 and a touchdown last week against Ephrata. So I think Cocalico, and they're struggling. They only have a couple of wins. I think last week they just kind of threw it all out the window and said, we're going to do what we do best. We're going to block up front, blow open holes, and run the ball. And they did. And they beat Ephrata with a really strong running game. Tough trip here. As mentioned, Solanco's just cruising. So I'm going to go Mules here at home to stay in first as they close in on a section crown. By the way, we're at Cocalico this week for the video show. Stay tuned for that. Pretty pleased. Solanco over Cocalico. Conrad Weiser at Warwick. How about Warwick? They're on their 4th quarterback. 4. They played 4 quarterbacks. Injuries, I know. Tough one. Who's played there? Myers, McGall, Willard, and now Tyler Musser played quarterback last Saturday night at Fleetwood. I remember being over at Warwick earlier this season, and Musser was throwing the ball around a little bit. This was before all the injuries. And he was throwing the ball around, and we were just kind of kidding and joking around. I don't remember what the discussion was about. But I remember him saying, yeah, I played quarterback in middle school. I was the junior high quarterback. So I kind of filed that one away in the memory banks. And then last week, he comes out and plays QB, goes 9 for 12 for 246 with 3 touchdowns. How about that? Warwick wins again. They're kind of sneakily flying under the radar here a little bit. They only have 1 loss. They're a game behind Solanco. That's their only loss. And they're down to their 4th string quarterback, which is just madness. Weiser's lost a couple in a row here. They were 4-0. I think they've lost 3 straight. So they're kind of looking for it. Now they got to go to Warwick, which is a tough place to play on a Friday night. And the Warriors, despite their QB issues, are playing really good. I'm going to go Warwick over Weiser. Fleetwood at Mannheim Central. Barons, as mentioned, fell out of that first place tie last week. They lost to Solanco. Mules played great, ran the ball, scored 40-plus, and won. So the Barons are, I don't want to say they're back at the drawing board, but they're in a weird spot here. They're a game out. They still have to play Warwick. And Central is like 3 or 4 spots out of a district invite. And after not getting in last year, I think Central's salivating to get back to districts. It's almost odd talking about Mannheim not making districts. But the Barons need a couple wins here to kind of finish the job and go to the playoffs, which would be a good jumping off point for this crew. Get back to the postseason, get a week 11, get some Mo back in the program moving forward. Fleetwood fell to Warwick last week, 37-zip on Saturday night. Struggled offensively against Warwick's D. Didn't get all too many yards on the ground and didn't score. And now they got to go play the Barons on the road at Eldon Ratu. So I'm going to go Central here. Don't know what kind of score this is going to be. Fleetwood likes to wing the ball around, and Central secondary's having a really good year. They have 9 picks already. So I'll go Barons here. I think they smell the postseason, and they want to go for it. So I'll go Barons over Tigers. Section 4, Friday night, Boone at Donegal. Sending out some good vibes to Donegal. They lost a student athlete this week. Tragic in a car accident over the weekend. So all good thoughts and positive vibes going out to Donegal. They will be playing for their friend and their classmate in this game, I'm quite sure, against a Boone team that has not won. They're 0-7, and I think their L streak is at 9. Donegal at home, playing with heavy hearts, but with a purpose. So let's go Indians over Blazers. Elko at LS. Saw LS last week for the first time in a couple of weeks. I went up to Northern Lebanon for that Thursday game. Pioneers, gang, look like the Pioneers. Really good. I mean, Asher Jones is running around and making plays on his feet. They're blocking punts and getting defensive touchdowns. They returned a kick for a touchdown. Brady Cunningham had a big game. And LS kind of looks like LS again. And I saw that they're back in the state rankings. They jumped at number 10 in 4A this week. So LS is playing really good. And they're right there now. They know who they have next. Again, this is one of those trap games. LS has Twin Valley and Wyomissing next in weeks 9 and 10. So can't get caught napping here against Elko. Raiders coming off a win. They beat Octorara. Don Moyer had a big game behind center last week. Rushed for 100. Had the game-winning touchdown run. Elko's been roller coaster, up, down, win 1, lose 2, win 1. Just kind of back and forth, and they're kind of fighting for their playoff life here. And now they got to go to Lampeter and get a Pioneers team that is really found it. They're playing well. So I'll go Pioneers here. LS over Elko. Octorara at Northern Lebanon. Saw the Vikes last week. And I know LS put up 50+ and won. Northern Lebanon's got some kids. I know Brady Ryan has missed some time, which hurts them because he's a weapon and they can do so many things with him. But Mitzel and the Burdick kid throws a good deep ball. Yoakum had a big game catching the ball. So Northern Lebanon's got some pieces, but they haven't been able to kind of put it all together. And now they'll host an Octorara team like which Elko is also kind of fighting for its playoff life here. Octorara's 3-4 bubble for 4A. But they played a really terrific schedule, and Mastripolito continues to just put up crooked rushing numbers all over the place. He should join the 1,000 rushing yard club in this game. I'll go Octorara. Road trip, but I'll take Braves over Vikes. Section 5, Friday night, circle it, Pequay Valley at Anvil Cleona. Dutchmen just keep finding ways. Stuffed Catholic on a 2-point conversion play with 30 seconds to go last week to win at Catholic 21-20. Just one loss for Anvil. Here they are. They're tied for first with Berks Catholic. So when Anvil tees this up Friday night, they'll know what Berks Catholic did on Thursday. So they'll know exactly where they stand. When the Braves come to town, PV put up 31 last week, found their offense, beat Hamburg. Put up 31. LeBrand Woods dig his name, LeBron Woods, rushed for 120 plus with a touchdown. And Drew Tibbins, solid player both ways, rushed for 100 plus and 2 touchdowns. So both those guys came up big on the ground last week. PV, right in the district race, but they get Anvil here at Anvil, and the Dutchmen just keep finding ways. So I'm going to ride their Mo, and we'll see where the Section 5 standings come late Friday. Dutchmen over Braves. Mighty intriguing game. Hamburg at Schuylkill Valley. Frost Bowl trophy game between these neighboring school districts. I think it's like 5 miles. I think they're literally like 5 miles apart. If you just get on 61 North and keep going up around the curve and down around the bend. Backyard rivals. Schuylkill Valley, still in it. They have 1 section loss, so they're kind of hoping somebody can get to Anvil, somebody can get to Berks. I don't know. They still got to play Anvil. So the Panthers are looking for a tie here, which would be their 3rd section title in a row, outright last year. Hamburg coming off a loss to Pequay Valley. They've been up and down. They're a roller coaster team, kind of like Elko. Win 1, lose a couple, come back, win a game late, some crazy comeback. But kind of looking for it, just looking for the firmer footing thing. Same with the Panthers. And they're in it for districts as well while trying to stay alive in the section race. So I'll go Schuylkill Valley at home. Get yourself to Leesport for the Frost Bowl on Friday. I'll go Panthers over Hawks. Kutztown at Lancaster Catholic. Crusaders nearly sprung one last week against Anvil Cleona. Went for 2 in the lead with 30 seconds to go. All right. Didn't quite get it. Anvil keeps them out and wins late. Kutztown. It was 31-7 against Berks Catholic, but it was close for a while, and then I think Berks Catholic kind of pulled away late. Kutztown continues to churn it out on the ground, and if they have big games this week, Mason, Sherry, and Ian Barr could both go over 1,000 yards rushing in week 8 for Kutztown. Wow. Sherry's at like 940, so there's a good shot he gets it. Barr needs like 170 plus, but he rushed for 250 here recently down the stretch. I have Lancaster Catholic circled. This is the gut hunch pick of the week. No clue. Flip a coin, throw a dart, and it landed on Lancaster Catholic. I'll go Crusaders at home. I think they're the odd team out right now in districts, and they were in the championship last year, so they want to go back. Motivation. Lancaster Catholic over Kutztown. 2 non-league games on Friday. First one's mega interesting. Exeter, undefeated Exeter, at Hempfield. A couple of big boy programs squaring off here. Exeter feeling great. Beat Muhlenberg last week to stay on the one line in Section 2 with CV in the loss column. And they're just playing great. This Leo Brown kid has been unreal. Rushed for 275 and 4 touchdowns against Muhlenberg. Leads the league in rushing, 1164, 17 touchdown runs. He's been great. So a big defensive test here for Hempfield, which led Wilson at the half last week. Oh, by the way, I know there was an injury in that game, and there was a really long injury timeout. Half hour, I want to say. So Wilson kind of came out of that and got after it, and the Bulldogs won by 10, but Hempfield put up a heck of a fight, and they were in it. Hempfield's also in it for districts. Tough game here. Exeter's just, they're really good. I mean, pick a category in the LL, and they're top 5 in it. So I'm going to go Eagles here on the road. Tricky trip against a good team with some size, and Catch can wing the ball all over the place. Could be close either way. I'll go Eagles over Knights. Last non-league game on Friday night. Won't this be fun? Garden Spot at Bristol. Hello, Bristol, Bucks County. The Warriors out of the Bicentennial League, District 1, Class 2A, so a smaller school. Garden Spot's 5A, so Sporting Nation's going to have more guys. Should probably be bigger up front, trenches, etc. and a lot of weapon guys. Gabe Martin, again, has just been unbelievable. Seth Musselman's having a really good year, not quarterbacking anymore, but he's returned 2 fumbles for touchdowns, which is a cool stat. Garden Spot probably a little better than their record, which means they're also bubble-ish for districts. Bristol has won 6 in a row. They won 6 in a row. They lost to Palisades out of District 11 in week 1, and now they've ripped off 6 straight. So I don't know. Spunky Squad, AA, Bristol. They beat Hamburg, believe it or not. They played Hamburg back in the non-league, and they beat them. And Bristol also scrimmaged Pequay Valley back in August. So the Warriors have already played Hamburg and Pequay Valley. What are the odds of that? And now they play Garden Spot. You'll recall Garden Spot needed a 10th game. They only played 9 last year. So I guess Bristol took the call. Garden Spot's got to go to Bristol and play. A fun story on the side. Way back in a previous life, like back in my 20s, I lived in Bristol during the college days, believe it or not. I lived in Bristol for like 3 years. So I'm going to make this trip. I'm going to do a walk down memory lane Friday, just kind of go back and check out the area and cover this game because it's a long trip and it needs to be covered. And, oh, by the way, I used to live there. So fun times. I'll see you in Bristol on Friday night for Garden Spot at Bristol, and I'll take the Spartans here. I'll go Garden Spot over Bristol. Saturday game, 1:30, Section 4, Twin Valley, 7-0 at Wyomissing, 7-0. 2 state-ranked teams, 2 first-place teams, tied with LS, and they both get a stab at LS here in the next 2 weeks. Great matchup, and I could sit here for a half an hour and ramble stats. I will say that one of my 3 facts notebooks this week, I did a tale of the tape on this game and kind of broke it all down, and just how incredible their stats are, and that they're all like so close. They're all like between 1st and 4th in the league and everything. So these teams really mirror each other. It should be a ton of fun. It's the LL game of the year to date, and it's probably the Berks County game of the year, no doubt. Enjoy. I have Wyomissing circled. It's tough beating Wyo at Wyo any time of the year. Week 1, district game, rain, 90 degrees, doesn't matter. Spartans are tough, and they've been razor sharp. Twin Valley also. Crooked numbers everywhere. Galore. I'm just going to go home team factor. Again, it's really tough to win at Wyo, especially this time of year, and the Spartans are feeling it. So for pick purposes, I'll go Wyo over Twin Valley. Enjoy that, Berks County. That's a whale of a game. Week 8 winners, Berks Catholic, Cedar Crest, Manheim Township, Wilson, Conestoga Valley, Muhlenberg, Mifflin, Salaico, Warwick, Manheim Central, Donegal, LS, Octorara, Annville, Schuylkill Valley, Lancaster Catholic, Exeter, Garden Spot, and Wyo. 16 of the 19 picks are home squad. Okay, it's the LL Football Podcast, The Huddle, sponsored by Auto House of Lancaster. Jeff Reinhart, LMP and Lancaster Online here with you. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy week 8, and I will catch you back here next week.